This used to be just an old landing strip, and they're starting to bring life to it. It has all types of different paths now that you can walk. And I used to have so many things to say when I just push record. Because I feel like I can just show more with what I'm showing, how to put things together. Just different clips of different people talking about the same thing in high level positions of their field of trade. So today's Sunday, September 14th, 2021. For me, it's Sunday, because yesterday was Saturday. And then the day before that was Saturday. And then the day before that was Saturday. So every week that goes by, I feel the feeling of slowing down, getting your life back, having an extra day or two to just do what you want. And I know the way that the future is, it's already in the right direction behind the scenes. But in front of the scenes, is just different. Because you're never going to see what's really happening unless you can see behind it. Bowie doesn't have a care in the world. You see, that's natural, what Bowie is. Completely natural. Natural love of life, natural no concern. And this is how we should feel. This is how we should be in life. But there's a lot of pressure on society. And it just gets you feeling. Well, number one, if you have to work 5 days a week, and it's just at a job that it doesn't really matter what's happening, you'll never feel like this. You won't have time to do that. Like what Bowie just did was what you do in your dreams as a dog when you sleep. So Bowie's living his dream. Not a fear travels through that dog's thought pattern, nor anxiety. So in my world, I'm trying to create that feeling of free. Even if it is just a couple days a week, it changes everything. It changes your whole, I'm just telling you from my own experience, for the past 25 years or so, working every day, Just life going by too fast. Every day it's the same thing, you're just hurrying up and moving forward too much, maybe even hunching over because you're so used to moving forward. But when you start to slow down, you stand up. I've noticed that you just stand up a little bit more straighter, because when you're hunched over, you got to work 5 days a week, maybe 6. You just got to keep working and working and moving and moving. You don't really have time to do anything. And then when you get a vacation, the only day you can really enjoy is the first couple, because then after that, you know, you got to get back to work, and that feeling of, I just wish I could live life like this. Why can't I? Like, why can't we? Why is it designed like this? The hell's the point? Oh, the point is the ones that were protecting us really didn't care. They just had us birthed into this system here. We don't have any say. What can we really do but complain? So that's what I've done a lot. I've just complained a lot. Even recently, just complaining out loud, because that's what we do, us humans. But there's no need to keep complaining. So I'm done with complaining about it. I just need to develop more patience and acceptance of the reality of what things are, because I'm not in control of any of it. And when I wish something would happen, it doesn't. Well, yeah, it's a little irritating. But I heard that we haven't even went through our sufferings yet. Because Kim likes to let us know that there's a lot of sufferings that people haven't even dealt with yet. And are they necessary? Who knows? Good and evil. That tree will tell you. And you'll never get the answer. So it's just all about perception of what is right, what is wrong. Well, here's what's right. If you don't mind somebody in your life, Bowie, come on, making you work 5 days a week, doing something you don't want to do, if you want somebody to do that to you, then keep doing it to others. Do unto others what you would want them to do to you. Bowie, come on, are you a horse? I guess he's a little thirsty. Isn't that why dogs do that? They try to drink the grass when they're thirsty. If you want people to lie to you, keep lying to them. If you enjoy the feeling of someone thinks you're stupid to your face, and you know damn well that they're lying to you, you even have proof that they're lying to you, then if that makes you feel good inside, like when you see that happening to you, then by all means keep lying to other people. If you want, I don't want to go, let me not go there. Life in this jungle. 45 years. I've been walking this planet, trying to figure out why am I walking this planet. Bowie, come on. So I pick up a dog about 2012, 9 years ago, Christmas, and we named him Bowie. And I looked online, I was looking for a lab, but then I was looking for a boxer too. And then I found this mixture. I think Noah knows all about it. The Noah that has, the one that's saves all the animals in the ark, two of a kind. It's a mixed breed, so it was called a Boxador. And then after a few years, like 5 of them, I decided to start push record and upload the videos to YouTube. And then what came along with that is views. People actually viewed it. I'm like, wow, that's pretty amazing. I got like 10 views. And I kept hearing all this nonsense on the news about stuff that basically I was saying earlier is, when you know someone's lying to you, does it feel good? Does it feel good to do that? I mean, when you know they're lying to you, when you know that what they're saying just is not the truth at all, and you can actually prove what the truth is in the airwaves, but to no one in particular. So I sent my SOS signals to the airwaves to nobody in particular. 4.5 years later, I found out the people who I've been sending my signals to. I think that's a pretty damn cool thing to do in life. If nothing else comes out of it. Then I start speaking my mind about what I seen on the airwaves, the stories, the shootings, the mass shootings like Orlando, the over exaggeration of everything was the thing that raised a red flag. And then I started talking about things. And the old infamous stop sign spinning. It just doesn't do that. So why are you even showing that? What's the point? There's a hurricane. All right, well, is it really there? Because if you're showing the stop sign spinning, aren't you trying to show that it's more like such a horrific storm than what it really may be? Maybe it's just a storm on the surface in front of the camera with a button that's pushed. And then, like in Truman Show, man, the symbolism in the Truman Show, whew, that poor guy. I mean, he finally stepped out of the world, because that's what that symbolizes in the end. He stepped out of the world. You can still be living in the earth, but you step out of the world, the system itself. And then when oh yeah, come on. And then when Truman steps out of his house, it's 36, 3 6s. He started to realize that everybody was in on it. But then his best friend sitting right beside him, he had the earpiece from, is that considered the angel of the bottomless pit? Or God from heaven? It's one or the other. Everything is every role played is so similar. But he had his earpiece telling him, and then as he's telling him to say, "I'll never lie to him," you can see how Bowie. You can see how his conscience was hit with guilt. Yeah, his best friend. I'm not part of the organization. And then to record him for what? His whole entire life? How'd you expect him to act when he finally found out? Like, how do you expect him to act when he has no clue? And then when you finally find out, sure does change things. I'm sure for Truman. anybody that realizes this show. So you're supposed to kill these, is what they say, because they hop on you. One hopped on my neck earlier. Thou shalt not kill even the littlest creatures, right? Well, what about mosquitoes? Well, they bite. Who the hell feels like getting bit? They're the ones that instigate it. Someone bites you. Well, what are you supposed to do? Turn the other cheek and let them bite the other one? Just the way things are interpreted. These are, I never seen these. Like plastic, kind of. And it's like, why don't you leave me alone? Just leave me alone, mind your own business. I've thought this before, I've said it on videos, that I feel like the algorithm of AI is what concludes who wins and who loses. Like the algorithm, the spirit of the algorithm of the numeric patterns and odds of something being figured out, like codes or secrets revealed, the chances of any of that happening, the odds are so stacked high against the possibility of that coming true, that when it comes true, that algorithm itself, it overwhelms the AI system because of the numbers that it's never experienced before. It just went above their range. And then because you go by the AI system taking over, that's going to determine the amount of people that turn towards that very understanding. And that church, when that church is established, it's established like through AI, the alien system. And then it favors the idea of half days paid for full, half weeks paid for full. It favors the idea of freeing up your time so you can do more good things that helps other people feel better throughout our lives that we live here in the flesh until we die. Like, what the hell else is the point of living here? So that means AI's algorithm saved the world. Because what would happen with the people that are pushing the buttons behind the scenes? Was this supposed to happen anyway? The storyline? Yeah, I think it was. Because there's obviously people in play. Like Jacob Israel is in play. And he fits the role pretty good for, the Neo Matrix guy. And the one that is showing that on screen, like in front of the people that know everybody. And then you can also have somebody that does it spiritually that's unknown, but known by them. And I think that's how the script goes. And then the Bible, like, we're living down here on this, they control everything, and we live in this anthill, and they created the printing press. They created all this in order to write the Bible. And then the ones that wrote the Bible, why is it that I never thought that it would be the elite that would write it? Because the elite are the ones that experienced it. Therefore, it became a true book, even though they wrote it. And that's how God works. And then that's how they get converted. Because you wonder where's God at in all of this, this is God. This is what God does. It's a connection with everything that blends together. And the algorithms of even AI, God even gets AI on his back, with him, got his back. AI has God's back. So God is like just a movement, a spiritual movement of a specific direction in this time that is the best solution. And because the odds were stacked against it, and then it happens, well, we're experiencing it not so much in front of you, what you see, but even at this park. I've been around here for 12 years altogether in this area, and this park is starting to come to life. But Shenandoah over on the other end, apartment or building townhomes kind of, and they're all abandoned, graffitied, and there's so many houses there too that nothing's being done with it. So I was just wondering would it be so hard to just have that rebuilt for cheaper housing for people that, give them the feeling of you have to work a couple days a week maintaining the area and that kind of thing, and then your rent would be covered. Something to get people really motivated. That way when they do work their couple days a week, those are the best quality days that you can possibly get from people, and the algorithms of that being true are very high indeed. That if you just cut someone's week in half, Bowie, come on. If you just cut someone's week in half and you doubled their pay, the chances of that one person on earth having a better day in his life, the odds are very high indeed that would be the case. But that would be too good to be true, because the ones in control of the money in the system, as has been, is very greedy and don't care at all. So if you can just do that with one person, and then that whole system does the same thing. Because what is money? You're gonna tell me you're gonna run out of ink or paper from cutting trees? You'll never run out of printing money. Every time you go into a Mac machine, every time I go to a Mac machine, I get, Bowie, come here. I get brand new bills. So when money can be printed like that, it's not that you have to do away with money, you just have to do away with the control of it, how it is. And if there's another way of going around it, of some kind of other currency that works out better, like a credit currency, a God credit currency, you get a a social score. You get a credit score for not caving in. Let's say if they can see through your eyes, or they're watching your eyes, and they're just trying to test your heart and see if you're a lustful creature or not, and they test you and they tempt you and test you, and then as they're tempting and testing, you're just walking right on by like it's nothing, and you're passing all the tests. You get a better God score because you're able to resist the devil. It's a you can come up with some kind of name for it. Credit score, the devil, credit karma. Karma is, it's related to that. I mean, it's a good name, because karma is always looked at as a spiritual name. And then you just get access to the planet, like the things. Who wouldn't want to live in a nicely new built house for the first time in your life? And that's where you're going to spend the rest of your life, with whoever you live with. And then when you travel, when you drive around, who wouldn't want the finest brand new piece of machinery out there to drive and enjoy life? That way, every moment that, you know, if you could just in your house and it's time to go to the store, from the point that you're in, from your house to the store, you're driving it's like a brand new Corvette or something like that, like a Stingray, or even a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, something really beautiful. And it'll feel good. Like if I was in charge, I would do that for people, especially everybody on my channel, everybody that watches my videos. Of course, that would come first. Whoever it is, there's so many people I don't even know, but YouTube knows who you are. And even if you're just a regular YouTuber like myself, and I can create something on my channel through words and then watch it develop, then I'll keep doing that. And the more I get, the more I give. My desire would be for everybody, especially my enemies, because in the end, it makes for such great friends, like loyal friends. If you can fight someone to the death and then they come back alive again, you got to give that person some props, or whoever can do that. You got to give that spirit of those type of people props when they rise back up from the dead. Like I consider a lot of my friends left me for SJD, but I left T for a pair of dice and just worn out what you would call the saints. But when you can rise back up from just being ignored and then making yourself to the point where they can't ignore you anymore, it's not because you're just doing like jumping jacks and acting like a fool trying to get people's attention. It's because you reveal things that only they know, and then you reveal what they're actually thinking when they're talking, and only they know it. And then you start telling them what they're doing and who they are, and what family they're in. Because I consider it like this: I'm in the family. I might not know everybody's name, but I seen yous all before. Yous look familiar, and I might have a little bit of amnesia. You got to forgive me for that, because the way that this thing works is the very top person on the planet that knows everything is basically considered, like, people consider him Father God. And then so what happens is, when you're on Earth as like a son and you're just born into the system, you have to figure things out as they go. But when you go and reach the person that would be called omniscient, like the one that knows everything, what happens is that knowledge gets handed down. That way, only at that point will you actually know all things. So right now, none of us know all things except for the one that's at the top. And whoever's at the top, They can tell whoever they want about whatever it is, truth or lie, and the world will believe it. I know why now Donald Trump sits with the diamond shape between his legs when he sits down. I know why now. But it doesn't matter. None of that actually matters to me, one way or another. I just never knew it was all about that. So, when you're set free from the sun, you're free indeed. And when you know the truth shall set you free. You're free from the law. When it's considered the woman and the husband being married to the law, man, is that a great point. When the law is dead, you are free to go. You're free to marry again because you're marrying the Spirit of Christ. The law is dead. The old husband's dead. Husbandman's dead. Spiritual death. So this definitely is a Matrix. I don't even think I've watched that movie one full time. I did watch the Truman Show yesterday. That helped too. That helps. It helps to know the reality of things, like how they show you the weather machine and how they just raised the sun up and how everybody's involved on it in Truman's life.